Has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk About It. Yes, let's talk about it. And if you follow me on social media, I'm sure you're saying, okay, where's our guest? I thought it was Let's Talk About It with Anastasia. Well, things happen, but you know I believe in consistency, so I am here. So I won't be before you long, but I am here and we're going to talk about this topic today. But first of all, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Dan. It's already on here. Deacon Holmes, thank you all for tuning in today on Thursdays. Let's talk about it. We're looking for hot topics to discuss. And this is one that someone put in the chat. And so we're going to talk about this today. Hi, Curly. Thank you for tuning in. But first and foremost, I want to thank everyone for all of your prayers. I've been here since 2019, and you have been consistent with me and always tuning in, sharing, commenting, and praying for Build Your Best Life. So I greatly appreciate it. Keep those likes and shares coming. And please, if you have not already done so, subscribe to my YouTube page, That's Build Your Best Life at Deborah D. Smith. I would greatly appreciate that as well. Well, today my topic is, what time is it? What time is it? And if you like me, you probably say, well, you know what time it is. You just started. It's about a little bit after 6:30. Yeah, but what time is it? But guess what? If you are asking that question, if you walk up to somebody and it's like, what time is it? It's probably later than you're supposed to be there. You're probably walking up and you know you're late. So the first thing out of your mouth is, what time is it? Well, to me, people with no regard for being on time, it's just a pet peeve of mine. And that's not to say, you know, I'm better than anyone else, but that is just a pet peeve of mine. You know, different people, different pet peeves, but that is a big one for me. Just ask my husband, he'll tell you. If we're supposed to go somewhere and we have a time to be there, I know if he's driving, he's going to get us there faster than I would. But like I always tell him, you never know when there's going to be accidents, somebody broke down on the road, mishaps. Let's leave in plenty of time. I don't like to be late. And the funny thing is, a lot of times we get to places, we're there on time, but then they don't start on time. But hey, that's just it. But in talking to different people, there are different perspectives. And, some people say, well, I know I don't get anywhere on time, but that's the way I've always done it. So that's the way I do it. When I get there, I'll be there and they'll be okay. If not, oh well. And I'm just the opposite. I'd rather not go if I know I'm not going to be there and people are expecting me. I'm going to hold something up. I'd rather not even try to get there. So it's all a bit of your perspective on a topic. Okay, so as I stated, I did, of course, do some research because I wanted to know, well, what do other people think? I know I'm not alone because, my good sister, I got Sister Yvonne, Carol, Agnes. I know they're all in the boat with me. Wilma, Cleo. Hey, we got to be somewhere. We're going to be there on time. And if we're not, they know something is up. So as I did the research, I did find out that there are different attitudes toward what's timely and what is not timely. And it significantly is different among generations, which I never would have thought it had anything to do with generations. I thought it was just people as a whole, and I still believe that. But when you look at statistics state that Gen Z often consider it being more relaxed or the right thing to do to show up a little late. A little late is good timing. You're not supposed to get anywhere on time. Whereas a baby boomer such as myself, oh, that's just a strict no-no. If to show up late is just rude. So then you see, when you ask a group of people, and usually when they do these surveys, they get different groups of people, and I always wonder, well, where did they find them? But they asked different people, and different people had different perspectives. So again, it did say that Gen Z, I think that's the ones that are around age 24 to the young adults of today. They think, hey, you walk in 5-10 minutes late, it's no biggie. It's all good. But the key points are, generationally, it is different. It is different. Baby boomers, straight. But again, that's not all baby boomers. So how can a survey say that it is based on what age you are, when I can see it from different ages, different perspectives? So not all the baby boomers I know believe in being on time. Some do, some don't. So it's just all a little bit different. It may be the way that you were raised. It may be, I don't know. But I was having a conversation, probably, I think it was last month. And it might have been the first one, because Pastor Herford and I had a great conversation, and it started in December, and it was so good. He said, hey, we need to continue this. So we had a second part of it in January. But, one of the things we were talking about, ethics and being on time and different things. And I told him the way I was raised, and he said, well, the way he always puts it back on his kids or whatever, it's, if you care enough to be on time, you'll be on time. So those things that we care enough about, then we'll be on time. That's one way of thinking about it. So I guess I just care about everything, which I know is not true. Good evening, Peggy. Thank you for tuning in. So it is, again, Surveys say one thing, I think something different. So you have to tell me what it is. So again, we're talking about what time is it, and is it okay to be late? Is that something that's okay? As stated, Generation Z thinks that that's good. 5-10 minutes, you're good. Or is it rude? Which? Let me know what y'all think. Put it in the chat. Okay. And I wish Anastasia was here because she always has so much perspective about these things. And of course, she's a different generation than I am. So it'd be interesting to see if she does have a different perspective than I do. Well, now millennials and Gen X, and then that would be my older children. Well, none of my children are Gen Z, so that would be my kids, millennials and Gen X's, most millennials. It says they're in between. So I know as far as teaching, I've told my kids that, you should be on time. But one of the key things that I was always adamant about was being to work on time. People are depending on you when they're looking for people for promotions and to head projects, or they're looking at someone, trying to see if it's someone that they may want to mentor or groom. They're looking at all of your qualities. So if every time they come by looking for you to see, what your work ethics are, whatever, you haven't even got to work yet, that's not good. So I've told them, if you're supposed to be to work at 8, if that's your start time, don't pull in the parking lot at 8. Don't be down in the cafeteria getting your breakfast at 8. Don't be at the coffee machine at 8. Be at your desk, clocked in, and working at 8. Get it moving. And the funniest thing is, and those places that you have to, some people still have to punch out and they do it electronically, of course, but I've seen people just sitting at their desk like this, and they have the clock up, the punch sheet up, and they're sitting like this. You can be sitting like that for 10 minutes. They're just waiting for the time to come so they can punch. And I guess you say, well, why are they waiting if they're ready to go? Because they want to make sure that they get a certain number of hours. So that's just the thing. So again, it is differently. So I don't see any comments, and I need y'all to give me some comments. Toya, I'm here by myself. This is a 2-person dialogue here because we need some more perspectives. Tell me what you think. Come on, Agnes, Peggy, y'all here? Y'all on here? Y'all get to typing. Tell me, is it rude, or is it okay, or is it? I think back in the day they used to say, you go to these places, and the person that always had on the outfit that was the showstopper, they would always be late because they wanted to make sure everybody was there when they walked in the door. So they say the room all paused when I walked into the room. So, hey, tell me what you think. Now, again, on that survey, it said nearly 50% of Gen Z responded. They viewed that a delay of 5 to 10 minutes as permissible. And that was 50% of Gen Z, while 70% of baby boomers had no tolerance for being late, no tolerance at all. All right. Let's see if I got one comment. Okay, it is not okay to be late. So no, so there. Okay, I'm doing my survey. I got one. So right now it's 100%. And if you want to count me, it'll be 100% that say it's not okay. So y'all weigh in. This is your opportunity. And again, I had some questions. We were going to have a dialogue here with Anastasia, but I'll go ahead and do them. I'll do it best I can by myself, but it's really not something I can do by myself. So if y'all want to comment and give me the answers, that'll be great. If you don't feel like it, I'll do the best I can. But for my first scenario, it was like there's a Zoom meeting is scheduled for 7 to 8:30. What time should the meeting absolutely begin? So if I schedule or you schedule a Zoom meeting and it's supposed to start at 7, how long do you sit there and wait before you start? Do you start at 7? Do you start at 7:01, 7:05? Do you wait till the majority of the people get on? What is it that you do? Well, I don't have any comments yet, but since I have to answer the question, so y'all in trouble, I got to answer the question. If I, based on my perspective, when I'm having a meeting, and I do have several meetings that I schedule, it is, we're supposed to start at 7. Of course, I try to turn on, get in Zoom. So if someone wants to come on early, I try to get in there and open it up at least 10 minutes early. Then I will, if there's anyone on there besides me, now we'll give them a minute or two. But at 7:02, we're going to rock and roll. All right, Agnes. Agnes say start at 7. So if there's one person on there, I will start at 7. But if I'm still on there by myself, I'll maybe wait a couple of minutes, but I will start. So just like today, and this has happened to me before, I asked all my guests to be here. We start at 6:30, so I asked my guests to be on by 6:20. That will take care of any issues you may have logging on, or if you got a question you need to ask me or anything like that. So I'll do that. And so like today, it got to be 6:28. I was like, okay, nobody's on here yet. I'm probably going to be by myself. But it has been times when the person signed on late. But guess what? At 6:30, I start. And it's so funny on Saturdays, second Saturdays, when the men are on, I don't do anything. The young man, Derek Durden, he's such a tremendous help to me, but he's in charge of the men's broadcast on second Saturdays. So he's there. He has it open up. I won't say he's a mini me, but he has it open up early enough for them to get in there. And then normally he starts on time, but I think it was the last second Saturday, because I'm in my room trying not to get involved. But I was like, wait a minute, it's 6, because I'm still watching. So it's like 9:30 in the morning, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't hear music. I come running in here because Dan, for those of you who don't know, Dan is on the conversation with the guy. So I come in here, I say, yo, haven't started. He's like, wait. I say, no, y'all go ahead and start. If the other one's coming on, they have to catch up. Y'all go ahead and start. Because there's 2 minutes of music, then the video is 2 minutes. So if they don't get on and catch up in 4 minutes, I feel like they're not coming. Start on time. So that would be, thank you, Agnes, for answering that question. But I would agree, I would start at 7 if at least one person is on. If not, I kind of wait a couple minutes. But it's not fair to make those people wait that showed up on time. And another thing, I used to get in trouble. Well, I did get in trouble about this when I was working in corporate America. And the other thing I really, really hate is, okay, the meeting is supposed to start at 7. And sometimes people, they do have something else. They may have had a doctor's appointment or whatever, and they'll say, well, I'll be, tuning in late or whatever, but I'll join as soon as I can. That's fine. But we would have staff meeting, well, not staff meeting. It was a meeting with our sales department every Tuesday morning. And same lady was always late. And that's fine if you want to be late. But if we're 15 or 20 minutes into it, and then you come and then you want to ask questions about what we already talked about, that's not fair to everybody else that was on there. And so she came on one morning. We'd been on there about 20, 30 minutes. And she started asking me to repeat what I had already done. I said, you know what? I didn't say, you know what? I said, that's a bit much. And I continued on, whoever was talking, we just continued. She called me and said, I have never had anyone to talk to me like that ever before. I said, what are you talking about? All I said was that was a bit much, and it was. You were late. Why should I have to repeat what I had already said and make people listen to it again? Oh, I just think that was rude. No, that was rude for you to get on 20 minutes late. But anyway, so I kind of got in trouble with that. But I don't think that you should penalize people for being on time. So that's just me. So and then my second question was, so if you say your meeting is from 7 to 8:30, what time should the meeting end? I think it should end at 8:30 or before. And if something's going on and you think, oh, the time is gonna go over, you don't just make that decision yourself. If you have a group of people, well, this is gonna be a little longer. So just let you know and just keep going, and you don't say anything and you keep going. Now on a broadcast, if I have a guest and the conversation has gotten good and we go over a little, hey, that's something totally different to me. But if it's a meeting and I've had you there or somebody's had you there for an hour and a half already, I throw it back up on the group. I say, look, it's 8:25. We still have several agenda items that we have not covered. I know y'all been on here a while. Some of you probably have not had dinner yet. Do y'all want to continue? Or do you want me to just, if you have a question about the rest of the agenda items, you can email me and ask those questions, and I'll respond back out to everybody with the answers. Or how do y'all want to handle it? If they say they want to stay on, we stay on. If they say, well, yeah, I have been eating lunch and I am tired, I say, okay, well, we're gonna wrap it up here in 5 minutes, and that's what I'll do. But I put it back up on the group. So that's just me. All right. The next one, is it rude or acceptable to show up late? And I got 3 different things. I have to work, a doctor's appointment, a barber or hairstylist appointment, or meeting your best friend for lunch, your BFF. And I think all of them are rude, but the one I really, really, really think is rude, and I don't like it, is that doctor's appointment one. Because I have like a gazillion doctors, but like with one of them, they have this banner going across, a digital banner going across, because they have probably about 6 or 7 doctors in the practice. But it says Dr. So-and-so on schedule, Dr. So-and-so 15 minutes behind, 30 minutes behind. And it's like, oh my goodness. What do you think that makes them behind? So they're not, doctors that may be called in to deliver babies and stuff like that. They're gastrologists. So normally the things they do are kind of like cut and dry, unless they have an emergency. But, sometimes you have, especially that person that wants the first appointment in the morning. No, they're not a morning person. They're supposed to be there at 7:50 for the 8 o'clock appointment. They get there 15 after 8. They go in the room, and then that's the one that got all those questions for the doctor. So what does that do? That puts the doctor behind, not only for the next patient. So either the next patient is going to get shortchanged, or all the patients for the rest of the day are going to get shortchanged because that one patient is late. And that can happen at any juncture during the day. So I especially on my doctor's appointment, like I said, my husband always goes, why you got to go so early? So I'm usually, but sometimes it pays off, because because usually I'm there before it's time for my appointment, and it has worked to my advantage many, many times where my appointment might be at 8:30. I don't know if that person can show up or they late or what whatever happened, but 8:30, I'm heading back out the door. I already had my appointment and gone. So it kind of works out, but I never want to hold up a doctor or someone else because that, to me, that's just rude. But that's kind of my opinion on that one. And of course, I wouldn't keep my BFF late for lunch. All right. And then my fourth question was, does the in-person meeting have more or less flexibility? So today, since COVID, we have a lot of more meetings that are on Zoom or Microsoft Teams. We have some that are in person. So does it matter? And y'all have to answer this one for me. Does it matter? If it's in person, is it okay to be late? If it's virtual or on Zoom or something, is it okay to be late? Is it okay for either one of those to be late? And I'll look for your answer for that. All right. And I can't believe I've been this long by myself. But anyway, I'm going to just give you some tips. If you struggle with being late, these are just some tips. Okay. Being late actually weakens your position. Being on time will help you to be cool, calm, and collected. Because if you're late and you know you're late and you don't really want to be late, and then you're rushing, so you get there and then you're like, oh, I was rushing, I forgot this, I forgot that. And you walk in and people looking at you. So being on time is going to help you to be more cool, calm, and collected. That should help you to be more confident. By arriving early, you allow yourself a few more minutes to think about what it is that you're going to be talking about. If you are the one, if you're going into a meeting, if you're going to work, and it gives you a little time to go by the ladies' room or the gentleman's room, or slide by, get you a biscuit or something that you can nibble on at your desk. But it gives you a little bit of time. If you like to stop by Starbucks and get that coffee, if you got a little extra time, and then you have time to do that and you're comfortable. And, if you get in line and the line is a little bit longer, if you have left timely, then you're okay because you don't have to rush. Because that may frustrate you or whatever. It may make you get in a meeting and be just all out of sorts. So it really, really helps you. That's one thing that does and help you. Hi, Dan. How you watching, child? The second one is when you're late, that's not communicating anything that's good. That means it's not helping with your integrity. It's not helping you as far as whether or not you're respectful of others. So being on time actually shows that you do respect other people, you respect their time, and then you have integrity. Why is that important? Again, you never know who's looking at you, and especially if you have children or grandchildren, it is amazing how many of your habits, your little tics that they can pick up, and you don't want them to pick up anything that's negative. So doing those things and having that integrity and doing something good is a good thing. Another tip is there's no good excuse. There's nothing like you get to the doctor's office, you're late, and they're looking at you side-eyed and everything. Oh, I'm so sorry I was late, but the train was across the tracks. So I know I got to cross 3 railroad tracks if I go a certain way. And I got to cross at least one if I go another way. I don't need to be going nowhere telling anybody that I'm late because train's crossing the track. Because in their mind, they're saying, didn't she know she ain't going to cross the railroad track? She didn't put in some time for that. So that's why I leave early, even though my husband get older than me. I leave early because I don't know what train I'm going to run into. If he going to stop on the track, he going to want to back up or whatever. So I can't go somewhere and give this excuse by, so see what had happened was I was halfway down the street and then my phone popped up a message say device left, and that was my iPad, and I have to have my iPad so I can read and do stuff while I'm sitting in the waiting room. So I turned back around and went and got my iPad. Then when I got to that railroad track, the train was crossing. I'm so sorry. They don't want to hear that. So that's what I know. You can't do that. And it is not funny, but recently, last year, one of my doctors retired. So I had to find another doctor. And my daughter-in-law, she actually recommended this doctor. And so I was just doing my best trying to get in this particular practice and trying to get her to be my doctor, because they said, well, we have a lot of doctors and she really is really, really backed. I don't care. I want to wait. But make a long story short, in their practice, you have to be there 15 minutes before your appointment. If you're not, you have to pay a fee. If you get there late, you pay a fee. Plus, if you're not there by a certain time, they won't even see you. You have to make another appointment. So they are really, really strict about it. So I'm glad that I try to get there on time. Another thing about time is wasting time is not a good thing. So good time management makes you more efficient, which means you can leave work at 5 p.m. to make it to your child's baseball game or get in that evening workout if you managing things a little bit better. So before I leave my desk, well, I don't work part-time on Fridays, but before I leave my desk tonight, I will take my to-do list. Now you can see that stuff checked all off and everything. I'll take my to-do list and I'll write my to-do list for tomorrow. And also, I will decide what it is that I'm going to wear tomorrow. So even if I don't get up and press it tonight, I already know what it is. So I can quickly get it. And if it needs pressing, I can do that quickly in the morning. But I know my to-do list. So when I sit down, I'm ready to start working. I don't have to sit down and say, now, let me see, now, what did I do yesterday? And what else do I have to do? Which one is a priority? Da, 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 da. It's the managing that time. And so if I manage that time, then it's not going to take as long as it would if every time I sit down, I got to think about what I got to do, which one I got to do first. Oh, I started doing that. I forgot I got to do this before I can do that. Then it's going to take longer time. Then it's going to stop me from doing something maybe leisurely that I want to do. So having that time management, that helps. And then the last one, it will keep you from being scatterbrained. By being on time, you're able to start your meetings and projects, and your workday is clear, and you're headed into a day that'll be free of nagging and emotional distractions. Because when you're not ready and confident and ready to do things, then it's like, shh. Because I know, like for this particular broadcast, I know it starts at 6:30. I've told my guests I want them to sign in by 6:20. So then that means at least by 6:15, I've got to be ready to sit it down and have my StreamYard up so that they can come in. So that means I've got to make sure I got on my lipstick. I got to put my lights where they need to be. Gotta make sure I check by the ladies' room. I do all those things. Gotta make sure I get some water. So if my throat gets dry or I start coughing, I got that water. I gotta make sure this phone is on vibrate. I have to set my music. I go ahead and get my StreamYard, where all I have to do is push the button when it's like 6:29. So 6:30 is rolling. So I'm doing all those things. So I won't be, oh my goodness, I'm going to be late. The person's going to be on before I get on. And they think, whose show is this I'm getting on? This lady, she just a scatterbrain. I got ready to get on her show. I couldn't get on there. I'm in some waiting room. She wasn't there. Then she's like, oh, wait a minute, I'll be back. I go put on some lipstick. Then I was going to ask her a question. Then she told me something like, oh, I got to go get some water. I might be a little scatterbrained, but I don't want anybody to think that. So all of that is helping. So it's not to be funny or anything like that, but it's just the way I was raised. It's the way I feel like you can be more efficient, get things done timely, and not be so frustrated. So again, I apologize that my guests did not show up, but thank you all for showing up. Thank you for helping me, Agnes, with some feedback. So I did have some information to kind of work with there. I really appreciate Agnes. You always got my back, girl. I appreciate you. But thank you all for tuning in. And I hope that you did enjoy the topic. Please share if you did. If you did not have an opportunity to see the entire broadcast, if you tuned in late, you can always go back on YouTube or Facebook and see the broadcast in its entirety. But I do appreciate you coming on, because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to come here and be with me on Thursday. Excuse me. Please join me on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 5:30 Central Time for Blueprint for Success. My special guest is going to be Elder James Terrell of Jacksonville, Florida. And our topic is going to be Zen Care. Zen Care. So please put it on your calendar. Make sure you tune in on Tuesday. I know with him it's going to be amazing. So I would love to have you here with us on Tuesday. Remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. It's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. See you Saturday, sisters. See the rest of you on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.